1,353 new COVID-19 cases found in Malta, in largest single-day rise yet. TV show PJAZZA is Malta's most popular discussion program, a new survey has found, and former prison boss Alex Dalli has been given a new job combating human trafficking in Libya. All this and more on Lovin Daily. Good evening, Malta and Gozo. Jonathan Chile here, joined by Paula Kauki today. I do hope you are nice and cozy inside on this cold evening, and I hope you've got your plans for New Year's Eve sorted out. Today we've had some record numbers as well as some very interesting developments, so let's jump right into the first story, all about COVID-19. So over the last 24 hours, Malta has confirmed 1,353 new COVID-19 cases. This is the largest single-day rise in numbers yet, following days of record numbers this past week. However, hospitalizations have risen slightly, though they remain stable. 94 people are in Mater Dei Hospital, and of those, only 6 are receiving intensive care. This means, though, that Malta has over 10,000 active cases, around 10,137, which is the largest Malta seen since the beginning of the pandemic.
U kif kulħadd qiegħed jitlaqam bil-booster vaccine.gov.mt u Malta jew laħqet jew appik li tilħaq il-50% tal-popolazzjoni adulta mlaqma, issa minħa l-booster ser jibda jgawdi għax kien hemm ħafna kliem għaliex laqamt jekk irid tilbes il-mask u ħafna minn da min għandu l-booster minn nhar it-tnejn jista' jibda jgawdi minn ċertu regoli ta' kwarantina. Issa naf li jinstemaw daqsxejn komplikati, allura ħanaddihom ftit u bil-mod. Mela, jekk inti pożittiv għal COVID-19 imma ħadd il-booster, mela tista' tagħmel kwarantina ta' 10 ijiem flok 14 ġurnata. L-istess jekk inti qed tgħix ma' persuna pożittiva u inti għandek il-booster ukoll f'10 ijiem tista' toħroġ. Imma jekk il-persuna pożittiva ma ħaditx il-booster, inti il-persuna pożittiva u min jgħix magħha ser ikollu jagħmel il-kwarantina ta' 14 ġurnata. Fejn jidħol il-primary contact, ġifiri jekk Jonathan kellu COVID u jiena da ma ġembu, ir-regoli ħatibqa l-istess, ġifiri jekk jiena għandi valid vaccine certificate wara 7 ijiem mill-aħħar kuntatt mal-persuna pożittiva, nista' nagħmel test jekk jiġi negattiv tista' toħroġ mill-kwarantina. Bidla oħra kbira hija ta' secondary contacts. Secondary contacts huma n-nies li jgħixu fid-dar tal-primary contact. Ġifieri min jgħix miegħi jekk kien il-primary contact, min jgħix miegħi jekk ħal booster minn nhar it-tnejn m'għandux bżonn jagħmel kwarantina. Iżda jekk dak li jkun maħax il-booster ser ikollu jagħmel il-kwarantina kollha miegħi jekk nagħmel 7 ijiem biss u mbagħad joħroġ wara 7 ijiem. Ġi dawn huma r-regoli ġodda ovvjament fejn jidħlu tfal minn 5 sa 18 sena peress li dawn ma jistgħux jieħdu l-booster, kull fejn qed insemmu li persuna tieħu l-booster tiġi sostitwita għal żewġ dożi għat-tfal ta' bejn il-5 u 18 sena. Naf li tinsema ftit ikkomplikata, ir-regoli tal-COVID kollha nstemaw komplikati l-ewwel darba li smajnihom immissa nafuhom iktar milli nafu insejċini dik it-tarba li ngħidu, xaru każa ma nsemmi xejn. Qisna kif ngħidu t-tarb tal-quddies blamment u nitalmuhom malajr. Ftit pazjenza kulħadd isaqsi fejn ma jafx u forsi flimkien neħorġu minn dil-mewġa wkoll kif riġna mill ma nafx kemm il-mewġa ta' qabilha. Intant inħallu xi COVID hemmhekk u Lovin Malta baqgħet tarbel ir-riżultat tal-survey tal-Broadcasting Authority tat-tieni nofs ta' din is-sena fejn jidher illi l-ħabib tagħna Castello Navarra il-nexxielu jieħu t-titlu tal-iktar discussion show, programm ta' diskussjoni popolari fil-Gżejjer Maltin. Għajlu xtajlu, ħobbu jew obodu, Karlu huwa showman u n-nies iħobbu showman. Ġifieri proset Karl, ġili attakkajnik, illum qegħdin ngħidulek proset tal-riżultat u skont id-ġida tal-poplu kompli għaddej kif inti għaddej.
No, the new survey from the Broadcasting Authority, really shows kind of the trends, the appetite that Maltese consumers have for Maltese TV and radio. As Paula did say, the host of PJAZZA, which is on One, Castello Navarra, he's quite a showman. If you haven't seen the show, he'll go up to the camera, he names names, he doesn't really shy away from controversy. Sometimes he'll even bring out items like a whiteboard and start drawing on the whiteboard. Very American British style, very entertaining and engaging. That said, he has ruffled lots of feathers. Just a couple of months ago, he had actually named Lovin Malta's news strategist, Tim Diacono. He had actually attacked him quite publicly online, which led to Prime Minister Robert Abela stepping in, forcing Constantine Novara to apologize to Mr. Diacono for that. So as you can see, very spicy, very controversial. I'm not surprised it's the most popular show in Malta. I mean, especially considering that shows like Sharabank, L'Erba Fossil Jimma as well have been taken off the air. These were typically the more controversial, entertaining shows on the air. Now we're stuck with things like Sarataron and Mustachuni, which, you know, hats off to those, are entertaining in their own right, but they aren't very controversial. They aren't really, you know, rocking the boat or discussing kind of these hard topics that really and truly viewers want to watch. Aside...
Forsi għalek qed imorru tajjeb aħna.
Maybe that's what's working. Exactly. If you missed it out, actually, Lovin Malta was actually named in the survey as well. Lovin Malta as a platform is the most preferred online platform for videos, and as far as shows go, Lovin Malta's productions dominated, with Lovin Daily being considered the third most popular show on Maltese internet. So definitely thank you to all the viewers out there. Another interesting tidbit from the survey was F Living. So F Living, if you're not aware, is a very small, family-run independent TV channel on Maltese TV, and it actually ranked higher than the state-owned TVM2 News Plus new channel. So this is actually TVM News Plus. It only mustered a rating of 2.9%, whereas F Living got 3.3%, which is 0.4% more. And when you consider that this is a tiny station run by a couple and a handful of employees,
qabbel ir-riżorsi u l-budget,
compared with the state-owned TVM channel, it's mind-blowing. It's genuinely mind-blowing. So,
wow.
Well done to, you know, the people who run F Living, Carla and Romina Bonacci, husband and wife. Many people know them. They've been on Maltese TV for years now, right? For years now, and they seem like a very sweet couple, and clearly entertaining as well. Moving on to the next story. So Alex Dully, the Colonel Alex Dully, the former prison boss, the man who ran Corradino Correctional Facility since 2018, who was facing lots of controversy after there were a number of deaths and suicides, some of them mysterious, under his watch. He has since resigned from that role, and he has now been appointed to combat human trafficking in Libya. So he is now the government's special representative in Libya on the topics of national and internal security. The appointment was announced by Home Affairs Minister Byron Camilleri earlier today. This appointment comes as an agreement signed back in May 2020 between the Maltese and Libyan governments, specifically to combat the tide of irregular immigration that, you know, Malta as well as Europe faces. During the announcement, Minister Camilleri noted that Dully had spent years as a search and rescue pilot, literally over the seas between Malta and Libya, looking for migrants in the sea, anyone who's actually fallen and needs rescue. And he said that this kind of experience is perfect for his new role.
Jina, Alex Dully dejjem kien joġobni l-istil ta' tmexxija tiegħu, issa ovvjament forsi mhux ħanidħol f'ġara l-ħabs, imma huwa bniedem iddixxiplinat, jien inħobb id-disciplina, ġifieri ċerta illi l-karatteristiċi tal-kurunell ser jgħinu biex din l-operazzjoni kontra il-traffikar uman tkun ta' suċċess, njaf kemm ħajsalva ħajjiet ta' nies, proset, awguri u jalla naraw ir-riżultati li kulħadd jixtieq jara f'dan is-settur ta' antikra. Neqilbu il-suġġett kompletament, illum jidher li l-Maltin ikkawżaw da xejn ta' xena f'wieħed mill-ajruporti tal-Iskozja, dan wara illi lecturer Justin Borch Parte jidher li prova jinstiga l-ex-Prim Ministru Joseph Muscat meta induna illi kellu Joseph Muscat u l-martu l-familja tiegħu fuq l-istess ajruplan miegħu, huma jistennew il-bagalja, dan il-lecturer u familtu ddeċidew illi jitellaw ritratt ta' Daphne Caruana Galizia fuq il-mobile tagħhom u jiddirezzjonaw il-mobile Joseph Muscat biex jiġbdu l-attenzjoni tiegħu. Ovvjament nimmaġina għamluha biex jinstigaw xi tip ta' reazzjoni. Malta saret taf x'ġara l-Iskozja għaliex dal-istess bniedem ittwitja dak li kien ġara, però fit-tweet tiegħu qal illi Joseph u Michelle għalulu proset u baqgħu iħarsu lejh, ovvjament bidem jagħmel hekk tibqa' tiċċassa lejh. Imma jidher li l-verżjoni ta' Joseph hija differenti.
That's right. You know, it's not surprising that, you know, as a Maltese person, you go abroad and it's like walking into Primark. You know, you're bound to run into another Maltese person sooner or later. Yes, but this was a bit of a spicy little interesting incident that happened in Scotland between this lecturer and the former Prime Minister. Obviously, the former Prime Minister, Joseph Muscat, is a very controversial person, even years after he left politics, and showing a photo of slain, assassinated Maltese journalist Daphne Caruana Galizia to him. I guess I can see it how it can be seen as provocation. Now, before we get into what Joseph Muscat said, because Lovin Malta has reached out to the former Prime Minister to get his side of things, it's important to note that Bartes said, listen, the reason he did this is because he wanted to leave no stone unturned as far as the investigation into the murder of Daphne Caruana Galizia, which is a reference to the phrase that Joseph Muscat had said himself as far as how serious they're going to take the investigation. So anyway, Lovin Malta reached out to Joseph Muscat to figure out what really happened, and I'm going to quote to you what Joseph Muscat told Lovin Malta. He said, quote, "I do not know this person, but while we were waiting for our luggage, he stood at the opposite side of the carousel with a woman seemingly instructing him to do what he said he did, trying to mock us in the meantime, taking selfies and pictures of our family during our private time as private individuals. He was obviously trying to incite some sort of reaction. I looked this person straight in the eye, but he kept looking away. At no point in time were there any shouts, and our family still wish him all the best." Now, I think this just goes to show, whether you leave politics or not, especially as a prime minister, a year later, 5 years later, 10 years later, especially if you had some controversial scandals, it's going to haunt you forever. So even if he's going to Scotland on a private holiday with his family to do whatever, if you run into a Maltese person, there's a chance he might think you're a legend or a king. There's a chance he might think you're a murderer.
Ekku, ġifieri din hija waħda mill-ħafna affarijiet li bniedem qabel jidħol fil-politika jrid iqis darba mid-darba. Iktar minn hekk għaliex qed tkaxkar lilek u l-familtek għas-snin li ġejjin anke il-karriera tiegħek tijaf. Imma dik hija Malta, dik hija l-politika Maltija. L-aħħar storja xejn iktar spjaċevoli, sfortunatament ħalli fidejk.
Yes, social media has been filled with tributes to a very highly respected man. This is Victor Calvagna. He's the founder of PUTTINU Cares. He's also one of Malta's first consultants as far as cancer in children goes. This is someone who's touched so many Maltese families' lives.
Momenti ta' ħajjithom.
Exactly. If you're not aware of what PUTTINU Care does, they literally find finances and provide housing abroad for families of children who are battling cancer and other very, very serious illnesses. They've literally saved countless lives. They've helped out so many families get back on track and return to normality. Unfortunately, earlier this week, Victor was part of a critical car crash and he's currently in hospital fighting for his life. And today, among the tributes, his daughter reached out to the Maltese public to ask them to pray for her father as he recovers. Today, he will be undergoing an MRI test. He is intubated and unconscious as it is. And she's just asked simply, as you're praying or if you keep her father in your thoughts. And it's not just him, Prime Minister Robert Abela posted about him as well. And what I found very touching were the families of children that he's actually affected and helped out were posting online saying, listen, if it wasn't for this man, our family wouldn't be alive. Our son, our daughter, our brother, sister wouldn't be alive today. So clearly, from everyone here at Lovin Malta, Victor, our thoughts are definitely with you. We do hope you and your family get through this difficult and challenging moment as fast as possible.
Meta kollok l-ikbar ċertifikat forsi fl-ar moment ta' ħajtu, ma l-ikbar ċertifikat ta' kemm kun għamilt ġid lill-pajjiż u kemm missejt nies meta tara pajjiż jitlob u jingħaqad u jitlob li terġa' tiġi lura fuq saqajk Alla jerġa' jiġi lura fuq saqajh u biex ikun stess jista' jara kif il-poplu Malti jingħaqad biex jixtieqlu fejqan ta' malajr.
I think that brings us to the end of today's episode. From myself and Paula, as always, have an evening full of love.
Ciao.